This is a relationship where, you know what? A lot of relationships built on trust. It's important. Communication. Well, trust and communication went out the window for this couple. A man in Texas is wanted by police after divorcing his wife without telling her. So straight up filed for divorce using forged documents, completed the entire divorce proceeding without his wife's knowledge or consent. So this is basically one of those where they're still hanging out. And he's one day he's
lady.
like, oh, just have one, we're divorced. But what's crazy is when he informed her that they weren't married anymore, she contacted police. Now he's in big trouble.
Right.
Like
Now,
what kind of charges for?
If they find him, because they can't find him.
They can't find him
They
either.
will find him. Listen, what he was trying to do is cut her out of whatever potential claims he might have in the divorce for money and property. I know the marriage was pretty short, but still. And he went ahead and forged her signature on the documents. She had no due process. She had no notice to go to court and contest or not contest, the divorce. And she only found out through some jewelry that he'd bought. So, the ironic part of this is that, he was probably trying to cut her out of some stuff, but now not only he's not divorced, and that marriage is now longer and potentially gives her the right to more money and property, but he's now committed a crime, which is aggravated perjury, and under the law, he's facing up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. I mean, it is just a mess. So it's not the lack of communication. The lack of communication is not a crime, but committing perjury and forging your wife's signature is pretty bad.
So if you go through any formal court proceeding like a divorce, even if it's not an actual in the court deal, at a minimum, you need a notary. It's not like he could just sign her name. Doesn't there have to be someone somewhere who sees her physically? Because I'm wondering.
Not necessarily. Now, there is language that says, I represent to the court under penalty of perjury, which is what he's going to be charged with when he's found, that everything I'm presenting to the court is true and accurate under the laws of that particular state. So it's like an oath. It's no different than being in court and raising your hand and swearing, as a witness.
I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of people out there hearing this story and they're like, maybe I could go. Maybe I can go.
Not a good idea.
Don't do it. Hypothetically speaking, I don't know what happened with them, but if you have a situation where one person says, I want a divorce, and the other person's like, no, and they say, I want a divorce, and they're like, nah, I want a divorce, not today. Like, how long can the person who doesn't want a divorce keep somebody in that marriage?
They don't have to have the consent of the person to file a divorce. They can go file the divorce, okay, and serve the other spouse with the paperwork, not forge her signature that she's received the paperwork.
Right.
And then that person gets to come and contest the divorce.
How long can you drag that out if you really wanted to?
I mean, I think if you're in a bad relationship, get the hell out and just go file your divorce. But, this guy definitely had the law on his side. He could have filed his divorce. He could have been honest and said, my wife doesn't want to consent. She doesn't want to receive the paperwork. And there's ways of dealing with that. But instead, he took it upon himself to forge her signature, and she had no clue. Can you imagine?
So what could this guy, if they find him realistically, could he spend time behind bars? And if so, how long?
Up to 10 years.
Wow.
For aggravated perjury, and up to a $10,000 fine. And then the worst part of it is he's not even divorced. He's still married.
The best is yet to come.
Right. He might get really punished.
You have one angry wife
when he
now.
does-
Yeah,
right.
you do.
Well, there is a good ending to this. I heard through the grapevine that he actually met up with the Botox burglar. And they are in Cabo.
Living happily ever after.
Don't do this. Just go talk to your significant other and just do it.
Communication is key. And Sarah, we certainly appreciate you communicating the law with us here today.